third bowl game. We've got the New Mexico Bowl. I love it. Yeah. SMU playing BYU Saturday, December 17th at 6:30 p.m. You can watch it on ABC. SMU coming in as 1.5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 70.5. No surprise there because what do both teams like to do? They like to throw the dang ball. Not run the ball, they like to throw the dang ball. And like we've said all season, SMU has found that type of offensive production.
Yes.
And they've done a really good job of kind of coming at teams with a balanced attack. You know, with the addition of Tyler Levine at running back, I think they have found a good system of being a balanced offense when they can.
Sure.
That's not the concern here.
Right.
The concern here has got to be that SMU secondary.
They had to score 77 points to beat a team this year.
Yes, which is absolutely absurd.
Right.
And do you know what BYU is good at? Do you know what they rank nationally in?
Scoring the dang ball.
Scoring the dang ball and passing offense.
Yes.
So is this kind of concerning for SMU going into this game?
100%.
Is that secondary?
Especially if the likes of Tanner Mordecai isn't healthy. I believe Rasheed Rice has a broken toe. So you're already going in hobbled a little bit without your best weapons. This could be a good showing, potentially, you know, depending on, I know Tanner Mordecai announced that he's going pro.
Yes.
So, like, whether he's healthy enough to play in the bowl game, whether he even plays in the bowl game regardless, who knows? Maybe he just, don't blame him for that if he decides not to. You're probably throwing your Kevin Henry Jennings in there to keep up with this offense, with this BYU offense. Granted, BYU's defense has not been good this year, similarly to SMU, and Jennings has looked really good in spurts that we've seen him in. Regardless, that's a lot to ask for potentially a true freshman first start bowl game against a program like BYU. Despite their defense not being good, still one of the best group of five, now rising up to Power 5 programs in recent history. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot. We saw this BYU team kind of knock Baylor off its pedestal earlier in the year, right? Baylor's offense really struggled that was when we first started to see Baylor's offense really struggle to keep up with the team.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, SMU has the horses to be able to do it, but I just don't know if they'll be able to without Rasheed Rice, without Tanner Mordecai, things like that. So
right.
That's kind of my concern.
Right. I'm kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a very high-scoring game. My concern here is, and we've already mentioned it, BYU's offense is not great, right?
Defense, excuse
me. Yes. Their defense is not great.
Right.
But with all of these missing pieces, all of these key missing pieces on this SMU offense, can they keep up? Can this SMU offense keep up?
That is literally
Because that's kind of my concern here.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
Right.
I mean, let's talk about BYU's defense a little bit. They rank They rank 32nd in passing offense and 9th overall in passing efficiency. If they get it big on this secondary, can SMU? Do they have the capability to come back?
Right.
Or to just keep up, I guess I should say.
Yeah, SP Plus has them 37th overall in offense and then 103rd in defense. So again, what we're saying literally is tracking there. Yeah, I don't know if they have, as a hobbled team, right? SMU wasn't perfect as it was. The offense, I don't want to say sputtered, but even the offense was inconsistent at times this year. And it was a big accomplishment for them to get to a bowl in Rhett Lashley's first year. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the hard part is done for SMU, right? And a lot of this is, I mentioned it a little bit with UTSA. It's like this is the reward now, right?
Yes.
And I feel like they're going to play loose, and I don't want to say they're not going to try. That's a bad way to put it. But like again, the pressure is not going to be on Kevin Henry Jennings to maybe go out and throw for 300 or whatever yards, but it's going to be valuable for him to get the starting experience. So while I don't think he might have enough right now as a true freshman without a Rasheed Rice to beat BYU or keep pace with that offense, I think we'll leave this game and we'll say, yeah, that was fine. Like, you know, they'll be okay. So I probably take BYU, but I think SMU's foundation is set and they're more or less fine.
Right. I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
And here's why. I pick by BYU because I think that they're going to go out there and they're going to show why they deserve to be in the Big 12. Because they're independent right now. They're going to be moving up to the Big 12 this coming year. I think they want to go out there and dominate in all three phases of the ball.
Sure.
And show the nation why they deserve to be in play in the Big 12, because that's an honor.
Right. And I think the last thing I'm interested in is there's been some talk of Jaron Hall, BYU's quarterback, whether he's going to play or not. And so that'll be something, whether he enters his transfer portal, whether he, is, I don't know if there was like an injury thing with him or whatever, but maybe, right? His status is up in the air, I believe, is what I've seen so far. So if he is entering the transfer portal, whatever, that's a similar issue for BYU as with SMU.
Right.
So maybe it does become two new faces kind of going at it, and instead of like this kind of rip-roaring BYU offense.
Right.
So,
Well, I feel like SMU even does have the upper hand there with Preston Stone.
True.
At quarterback.
Well, if he plays.
Well, that's true because he's been hurt.
He's
so.
hurt too. I think he's still out for the year, so that's why I think it'll be Jennings.
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point. Nonetheless, fun game. I think it's a really good matchup for both teams to kind of play it out. They're very similar
I think so
in
too.
style.